Hi, I'm Rachel, a 32-year-old mother who's navigated more family drama than most people should have to face. Before I dive into my story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more real-life tales from the chaotic world of family dynamics. Let's get started. When I married Tom, I didn't just gain a husband. I inherited a whirlwind in the form of my mother-in-law, Linda. From the very beginning, Linda made it clear she thought I wasn't good enough for her son. She had this knack for walking into a room and instantly draining the joy from it with her unsolicited advice and constant critiques. Rachel, don't you think Lily needs more structured playtime? You're too lenient with her upbringing, Linda would say, as if my parenting needed her stamp of approval. And Tom, he would just nod along, never once defending me. One sunny Tuesday, I decided to redecorate Lily's room. I thought light lavender walls might brighten it up. As I laid out the paint samples, Linda waltzed in, her eyebrows raised like she had just smelled something foul. "That color is all wrong, too cold for a child. You're not seriously considering it, are you?" she scoffed, not waiting for my response before turning to Tom. "Tell her she's making a mistake," she demanded, and as usual, Tom mumbled, "Mom might be right, Rachel." It wasn't just her words. It was her constant presence, always hovering, always there. Dinner times were the worst. I'd spend hours preparing something special, only for Linda to scrutinize it like a judge at a cooking competition. "This needs more salt." "Honestly, Rachel, how hard is it to season properly?" she'd critique while Tom quietly ate, never uttering a complaint unless his mother prompted him. Then came Lily's upcoming birthday. It was supposed to be a simple celebration, but Linda had other ideas. A proper party would have real entertainment, not just homemade games. "Shall I hire a magician?" she suggested, dialing her phone before I could even respond. "No, Linda, I've got it covered." I tried to intervene, but the icy look she shot me could have curdled milk. "It's settled." "Kids need something memorable," she said, ending the call and leaving me fuming in silence. Tom, as usual, just stood by, his voice barely audible. "Maybe it's for the best, Rachel. Mom knows a lot of people." The day before Lily's birthday, I overheard Linda on the phone, bragging about how she had to step in to save the day from my underwhelming plans. Tears stung my eyes, not just from anger, but from a deep, growing despair. How much longer could I let this go on? How long before my daughter started to believe Linda's words over mine? That night, I turned to Tom in bed. "Do you even hear how she speaks to me, to us?" I pleaded, hoping he would finally see sense. "Rachel, she's just trying to help. Maybe you're taking things too personally," he sighed, turning away, closing the conversation but leaving me wide awake with a heart full of wounds. As I lay there, the moon casting shadows across our room, I knew something had to change. This wasn't just about a birthday. It was about my life, my daughter's happiness, and the peace of our home. The storm Linda had brought into our lives was about to meet a quiet strength it had underestimated. Tomorrow, on Lily's birthday, I would stand up for myself, for Lily, and for our little family that deserves so much more. The morning of Lily's 5th birthday dawned crisp and bright, just the glimmer of hope I needed to follow through with my plans. I was up early, whisking batter and slicing strawberries, the kitchen filled with the sweet scent of anticipation. Today was about making it perfect for Lily. I arranged heart-shaped pancakes on a platter, the blueberries sparkling like little sapphires next to the golden, fluffy cakes. "Mommy, is that for me?" Lily's tiny voice broke the morning silence as she padded into the kitchen, her eyes wide with excitement. "All for you, birthday girl," I said, kissing her forehead and setting her down at the table. Just then, the kitchen door swung open with a thud, and in stormed Linda, her face already twisted in disapproval. She didn't even greet Lily, just marched straight to the counter where the birthday breakfast lay. This is what you've made? Honestly, Rachel, this won't do at all." Linda's voice was sharp, cutting through the morning warmth like a cold breeze. I felt Lily's small hand squeeze mine, her joy dimming. "But Grandma, I love Mommy's pancakes," Lily said softly. "No, darling, you deserve better. Something grand, not this homemade mess," Linda declared, and before I could react, she scooped up the plates and dumped them into the trash. The sound of my efforts crashing into the bin echoed painfully in the kitchen. "Linda, what are you doing?" "It's her birthday." I couldn't keep the tremor out of my voice, my hands balled into fists. "Improving it," Linda retorted, eyeing the trash with satisfaction. The door opened again, And in came Tom, his expression bewildered. What's going on here? Your mother just threw out Lily's birthday breakfast, I said, my voice rising in disbelief and anger. Tom, why is she doing this? Tom looked from me to Linda, the conflict clear on his face. Mom, why would you do that? He asked. It wasn't suitable. I'm just looking out for Lily, Linda replied dismissively. This was important to us. To Lily, you can't just barge in and. Tom, tell her she's overreacting. It's just breakfast, and I can order something much better. Linda cut me off, turning to Tom with an air of finality that demanded obedience. I watched Tom falter, his resolve melting under his mother's expectant gaze. Rachel, maybe Mom's right. Let's just order in and avoid the fuss. I stared at him, my heart sinking. Lily tugged at my sleeve, her little face crumpled in confusion and hurt. Mommy, why did Grandma throw my pancakes away? Sweetie, how do you explain to your child that her grandmother values control over her happiness? Tom, this is your daughter's birthday. Your mother can't just. Rachel, let's not make this a big deal, okay? Let's just get through the day, Tom said, his voice weary and pleading. That was the moment it clicked. This wasn't just about pancakes or birthdays, it was about respect. About Lily growing up thinking this was normal. No, Tom. It's always let's just get through the day. When do we start living for us? For Lily? When do you stand up for your family? Tom hesitated, his eyes darting between me and Linda. I am standing up for my family. I'm keeping the peace. No, Tom, you're letting your mother walk all over us, I said, my voice rising, each word sharper than the last. Rachel, you're blowing this out of proportion. Am I? Or have I just had enough? The clarity was fierce within me. Linda, you need to leave now. Linda scoffed, turning to Tom. Are you going to let her kick me out? Tom's response was weak. Mom, maybe you should go. No, Tom, not maybe. You go with her. Choose who your family is because this. I swept my hand towards the trash breakfast. Lily, and I can't live like this. The room fell silent except for Lily's soft sniffling. The line was drawn. The gauntlet thrown. Today was the day I reclaimed our lives. The morning's upheaval gave way to a quiet thick with tension. I moved through it, picking up Linda's belongings scattered about. The weight of my decision anchored every step. I wasn't just cleaning up after breakfast. I was clearing out years of suppressed frustrations and sorrow. Rachel, are you sure about this? Maybe we can talk it out. Tom's voice followed me, filled with desperation and disbelief. Talk it out? Like all those other times? No, Tom, this is happening. My hands didn't shake as I packed Linda's bags. The clarity from my earlier decision sharpened with each folded sweater and tucked away toiletry. You're making a mistake, Rachel. You're overreacting. Linda's voice cut from the doorway, harsh and unyielding. I zipped up the last bag and stood facing them both. I'm making a choice for my daughter. For me, Lily deserves peace in her own home, and so do I. The cab idled outside, the driver looking at the house, then back down at his phone. I grabbed Linda's suitcase, the wheels thudding against each step as I dragged it to the door. Tom, please think about Lily. We can fix this, but not with her. My last plea was to the man I thought I knew, the man I thought would stand by his family. You're choosing her over your own wife and daughter, I said, my voice cracking. Your responsibility was to your wife and child first. I handed Linda her bag. Her sneer failed to hide the shock in her eyes. You'll regret this, she hissed, her words slipping through clenched teeth as she stepped into the cab. I already regret not doing it sooner, I said, shutting the door on her glare and turning to face Tom. His figure was slumped, torn, but his choice was made clear when he grabbed his own coat. Tom, you walk out that door, you don't come back. His pause was the last shred of hope fluttering to the floor. I'm sorry, Rachel. I hope one day you'll understand. With that, he stepped out the door, closing softly behind him, as if even it couldn't bear to make a sound. The finality was not a slam, but a soft click that echoed loudly in the suddenly empty house. Left alone, the silence was no longer oppressive but open with possibilities. I scooped Lily into my arms, her small body clinging to mine. It's just us now, baby. Just us. But we'll be okay, Mommy. Yes, just us now, and that's enough. We're enough. I kissed her forehead, her trust in me building my resolve. I walked through our home, each room a testament to a life I was ready to leave behind. My reflection in the mirror showed a woman changed, not broken, but rebuilding. Lily's hand in mine was a reminder of why this had to happen. That night, as I tucked Lily into bed, her room now just as it should be, quiet, peaceful, I promised her better days. Her soft snores were a sweet counter to the harshness of the day. As I sat there watching her sleep, the weight of my choices settled around me like a cloak. It was heavy. I knew the road ahead would be tough. The whispers of the community, the sympathetic stares, the inevitable loneliness of single motherhood, it would all be part of the journey. But as I turned off Lily's light, a whisper of my own filled the room. We are enough. Navigating life as a single mom, the days melted into a routine of resilience and discovery. Lily's laughter became the soundtrack of our new life, filling spaces that once echoed with tension. But with new beginnings came new challenges, especially the legal ties that needed untangling. Tom and I had to formalize our separation. I just want what's best for Lily, I explained over the phone to my lawyer. The papers spread like a fan across the kitchen table. He can see her, but it has to be healthy for her. No sudden drop-ins, especially not with Linda. Understood, Rachel. I'll draft the visitation terms clearly. You're doing great, keeping things straightforward, my lawyer assured me. The calls were frequent, each one a step toward legal clarity but emotional complexity. The community whispered, but those whispers couldn't drown out the louder voices of friends and family who stood by us, supporting our small do in every way they could. One evening, Lily asked, "Mommy, why doesn't Daddy live with us anymore?" Her small face was puzzled as she played with her food. Sometimes people need a little space to remember how to love each other, right? Daddy and I needed that space, I said, keeping my tone light, honest but shielded from harsher truths. Do you miss him? I miss who I thought he was, I admitted, not just to Lily but to myself. The days grew colder, the first frost kissing the windows as I dropped Lily off at school. One morning, while waiting at the gates, another mother, Mia, approached with a tentative smile. "Rachel, it's been a while since coffee mornings, hasn't it?" "Yeah, it's been hectic," I smiled back, grateful for the attempt to bridge the gap. "Thanks, Mia. I might take you up on that." Community support was unexpected but welcomed, a warm balm on the loneliness that tried to seep through the cracks of newfound independence. Back at home, the phone rang, Tom's name flashing on the screen, a reminder of the thread still connecting us. "Rachel, I've been thinking a lot about everything. I'm sorry for not standing by you for everything with Linda. I didn't see it then, but I do now." "Tom, sorry doesn't change what happened. It doesn't change the decisions you made. Lily and I are moving forward. You should too. I know, I just hope you find happiness." "We already are finding it," I said. "Goodbye, Tom." Hanging up felt right. It wasn't about bitterness, it was about peace, about building a world where Lily and I could thrive. As I watched Lily run across the playground later that day, her laughter mingling with the crisp air, my heart felt full. This journey had taught me the unyielding power of a mother's love and the strength found in the freedom of letting go. "We're doing okay, aren't we, Lily?" I whispered as she sprinted towards me, her arms wide. "The best," she said, her small arms wrapping around me, her world secure in the circle of my embrace. And that wraps up our story, folks. Now, here's a question for you all. If you were in Rachel's shoes, would you have given Tom a second chance if he sincerely tried to mend things, or do you believe some actions are too damaging to forgive? Dive into the comments and share your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed the story and subscribe to stay updated with more content like this. Your support means a lot.